yet again, I make like a 10-minute video and I go back to replay it and the audio doesn't work. So I'm going to try this again. Okay, I haven't done a video in 2 days. On Monday was a stretch and strengthen day, and yesterday was supposed to be 4 miles, but Elijah didn't go to sleep until like 9:30, and so I wasn't about to run an hour and get back home at like 10:30. I'm still trying to work out the whole when is the best time to run thing. So yesterday I did cross training instead and just did that pregnancy video that I told you about the other day. Today was supposed to be a 4-mile run, but I ended up only doing 3 miles, and I have some pretty valid reasons why. First of all, I went at like 7 o'clock, which I thought was going to be better, but the sun was still up and it was super hot. So yet again, I'm trying to figure out when is the best time to go, because the ideal time would be about 8:30, but I can't guarantee that Elijah will be down for the night by 8:30, and I don't like leaving him at night with Keith, because at night he turns into this outrageous mama's boy and is just super fussy, and so I wouldn't want to put that on Keith, even though he is the baby daddy, but I'm the baby mama, so he's got to have his mama. That one time I ran in the morning, my head hurt all day long, so yet again, still trying to figure it out. So today I did 3 miles instead of 4 miles because, number one, it was super hot. Number two, I was chafing like terribly bad. It was horrible, like in my inner thighs, and I don't even know. But I talked to my cousin Jackie, and she told me that the best thing to do is to rub Vaseline anywhere that you get like a blister or chafing or anything, and it'll make it go away. So totally awesome. Thanks for the wisdom. I will do that from now on. Yeah. What else? I don't know. Yes, I remember. So I did 3 miles, even though the chafing started like at mile 1 and it hurt really, really bad. So when I got home, Keith kind of chewed me out, but in a nice way, and told me the truth about how I don't need to be doing this if it's going to be hurting my body. So this is what I've come up with. If your body is hurting, it's a good thing. Like if your muscles are sore, or you're getting a little tense, or you're not being able to breathe as well because your heart rate is going so fast, those are okay, because that means that you're doing something good for your body. But if you're hurting your body, not so good. And so that's what I was doing. I was hurting my body, and so I was pushing myself. When it comes to mind games, it's okay if your body is hurting. That's when you can push through. But if you're hurting your body, then you shouldn't push through, because when I got home, it was like I didn't have any skin left in my inner thighs, and it was not pretty. It's getting better now, but not pretty. So there are valid excuses and there are valid reasons why some days you're not going to be on track and you're not going to do as well as you had hoped. I'm one of those people who are very motivated, and I wanted to get through this training program and not ever miss a day and not ever do less than what it told me to do. Not going to happen. But I don't need to be a perfectionist, and I need to realize what's most important is taking care of my body and not being so focused on doing this training program perfectly. So, talking about excuses, there are days and valid excuses when it comes to training for this half marathon. But to transition into our Christian life, we have no excuse whatsoever when it comes to following God. Just a few verses. Romans chapter 1, verses 18 through 23. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who by their unrighteousness suppress the truth. For what can be known about God is plain to them, because God has shown it to them. For his invisible attributes, namely his eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly perceived ever since the creation of the world, in the things that have been made, So they are without excuse. For although they knew God, they did not honor him as God or give thanks to him, but they became futile in their thinking, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Claiming to be wise, they became fools, and exchanged the glory of the immortal God for images resembling mortal man and birds and animals and creeping things. And that's exactly what we do. Even though we know God, we make so many excuses of why. We spend so much time idolizing things that aren't God, just like I talked about in my last video about all the idols that our soul has and the things that we worship that isn't God. And so we have no excuse because God makes it very clear that he is the truth and he is the only thing that matters and he is real in our lives, but yet we overlook that. Also in Jeremiah chapter 1 verses 4 through 10, it says, "Now the word of the Lord came to me, saying, Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, and before you were born, I consecrated you. I appointed you a prophet to the nations. Then I said, Ah, Lord God, behold, I do not know how to speak, for I am only a youth. But the Lord said to me, Do not say, I am only a youth, for to all to whom I send you, you shall go, and whatever I command you, you shall speak. Do not be afraid of them, for I am with you to deliver you, declares the Lord." And so right there we have someone saying, "Oh Lord," giving an excuse about his youth, and the Lord just shot him down. And that's exactly what he does in our lives. Any kind of excuse that we may have to tell the Lord, like, really? No, not going to work. He's God, and he makes it very clear to us that he is God and he is real. And so whatever excuse we may have for not reading his word or not spending time with him or not praying or not telling others about him or not doing what he commands us to do in his word, it's just a bunch of baloney. So no excuses, people.